Peace, 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 peace. Peace, love, and light to all the American Aborigines. This your brother, Original Power. Hoping everybody tune in to the live stream. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying their day and gradually getting off or enjoying their evening. We got a fire show for you today. We're going to be dealing with DNA hoax, genealogy exposed, featuring Shaypink 40. We're going to get into some of her genealogical DNA experiences and how they're faulty at best. So let's get right into the intro. Hit that like button.
Whatever it takes. Exactly.
Right, this shit crazy.
Feel nothing at all. For my pain, it don't feel nothing at all. Yeah. For my pain, it don't feel nothing at all. For these niggas, nah, ain't nothing but God. I had to move around with nothing but frauds. I tried to bring the team together, get my vision involved. I gave the plan, but niggas scrambled the time to pick up that call. We can't get 1,500 in a 6-week span. Time to pay up, everybody goes, I be damn. I should've seen it. All I got is Rain, Slim, Tim, you know it's Teach. I got Tay and I got Leaf. I got Deja and Salih. I got Foreign, they got Feet. They say your name, that's cause you preach. Them niggas folded under heat. No umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, just stand up. If not, lay down. Let it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah.
My nigga, then just say it.
Let it rain down.
Let it rain down. Right, this shit crazy.
Yeah. We gotta weather the storm. If you don't understand, get better informed. I'm from the trench, and my trust really weathered and torn. With my niggas from the sandbox, trying to put this shit on top some water, but we land locked. We all want the same shit, but can't get on the same page. How bad do y'all really want it? Niggas just be saying things, replacing with y'all lives now. Everything that I pipe down. Yeah, I was chilling for a minute, but I'm live now. Niggas talking about the past. Come get with me right now. Come and really see my grind. Come and see me live now. I'm live now. I'm live now. Come and see me live now. Ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up. If not, lay down. Let it rain down. My nigga, then just say it. You ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah. Ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up. If not, lay down. Let it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Let it rain down. Yeah.
My nigga, then just say it. You my brother, then just say it.
Let it rain down.
Let it rain down.
Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Making a fire ass show for you guys today. We're gonna be kicking up some heat. Let's keep it going. I want everybody to hit that like button as we come in, man. Shout out to Sister Shaypink 40 for today's build. Let's get right into it, you guys.
Shelly. I really been feeling. Yeah. Yeah. We gotta carry on. Like Mr. Caldwell saying, I know that faith is all we need. I hear them church bells ring. A lot of strange shit is going on inside of this train. Programs is being ran, and shit is one and the same. When your thought pattern is different, they look at you strange. The same ones you used to see me with, now we estranged. Cause now my mission different. It's some shit I gotta attain. As I go inside my mother's womb, my soul was ordained. I battle on. The war zone is Babylon. My one task is to bring the flock and the cattle on. Trying to change the vibration while niggas they Babylon. Now focused on getting my money tower of Babylon. My catalog is self-subscribed, I'm staying strong. I know my destination, I travel, don't know the roads. Don't give a fuck about this status and status quos. Combative is data low. Cannot compute with this blockchain. I'm pinging off of towers, can't triangulate my pen game. I'm off the grid. The lyrical EMP, they try to follow down a rabbit hole that's filled with TNC. The last of a dying breed, just aim fire and squeeze at demonic chapters. I know the sigil on his sleeve.
And crush the regalia, shining like diamonds to the sea. I'll show you Wonderland.
It's up to you if you believe. The son of the matrix, shining like nothing you conceive. A bomb with a pen, removing nothing's gonna leave. Alarmed by the wind, we smell percussion in the breeze. The drummer go in and leave nothing but the leaves. A nod and a grin, be the last thing you ever see. And the problem with him lead to a problem with a den. A lion sent down from Zion, bringing drama to your kin. I promise I'm like Obama or Osama. It depends on how God order my steps. When you stepping up to him, I'm different. Can politic or demolish them, pick a fence and stay behind it, cause the lions is out again.
Shout out to the family in the building. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. You know what I mean? Get the energies right. Good to see y'all. You already know. Let me know what city, what state y'all in. Y'all good? And talk to the God. All the music is Hellyway. Make sure y'all go follow Hellyway on all streaming platforms. Make sure y'all go check out Hellyway on all streaming platforms. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all know the vibes. How y'all feeling out there, man? Hopefully y'all feeling fantastic out there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all are feeling fantastic. You know, that's what we want. We want everybody to feel fantastio. You know, when we get into some of this fire ass information. Shout out to everybody that's in the building too, by the way. I want everybody to throw up the fire emojis in the chat. We got my sister Shaypink 40 in here. Let's get a mic check from sis. What's going on?
Hey fam, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear. All right, you want to say something to the family real quick?
Yeah, fam. I just wanted to come up here and share my DNA test results. And we need for this to go viral.
Yeah, it's gonna go viral. Make sure y'all share this on all y'all social media platforms. We need this shit to go viral. You heard? We need it to go viral. All right. So yeah, let me shout out some of the brothers and sisters in the chat, man, before we even get started, man. Let me shout out some of the brothers and sisters that's off in the chat that took their time to come rock with us. Shout out to everybody. All right. Shout out to everybody that's also tuning in that's not typing in the chat because you're busy at work, doing a daily commute, or driving back home safe. Be safe on your way wherever you're going. All right. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that is in the chat getting active and live. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Share the live stream, man. That's the most important thing y'all can do is share the live stream. Support the channel, man. Call in number will be on the screen. If y'all have any questions at the end of this live stream and breakdown of this DNA results, y'all can use the call in number. Pretty sure Shay will accept phone calls and questioning. So shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get to the first people that's in the chat that I see. Shout out to my brother Juice. Shout out to Sudi Natural, Ghetto Child, Mo Naga, George Richard, Copper Tone, Alcatone, Craig Lloyd, Sun Baby, Shaypink 40, Mo Naga. Who else we got up in here? Kansas. Shout out to you. Smoke Signal, Naya Boohoo. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. If y'all are in here, make sure y'all hit that like button. We got them fire emojis. We got Dr. Swindle Hoodwink in the building. Dr. Swindle Hoodwink, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. We're going to light the wood up. We're going to get straight into it, Shay. Hey, if you want to go ahead and start, give them the introduction to what they about to see, we're going to get it right on the screen.
Yeah, fam. I'm going to give y'all my DNA test results. I'm going to take y'all through 23andMe. I took this test, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 years ago. I wasn't looking for, no African or nothing like that. Or I took the test because I was looking for one particular person. But other than that, I got my results. The results actually They update the results. I think they didn't updated them like 3 times, so your information will change. But I want to expose something, or at least I want other people to check their information if they did do this test. And because one thing they don't tell us is that they give out 2 results. They give out scientific details, and they give out ancestry. Then they give out scientific details, and to me it's just like a ball of confusion. And I wanted to share my information. I want people to check their information, and any feedback or any information or questions you may have, we can figure this out all together. Because I'm originally from America. I don't know no stories about, and no disrespect if anybody's from Africa, Canada, the moon, it don't matter. No disrespect, but we need to start delineating, and we ain't got to be tripping out and flipping out on nobody unless they ask for it. But for the most part, we just need to figure out who we are, I already know who I am. And before I just keep rambling, I just want to put out a little disclaimer, because I know a lot of y'all over here are Indians, y'all are African, just different multi-groups of people. I am one of them. I'm old school or whatever. I still go by black, colored, and Negro. So please do not take offense to that, because I'm not changing who I am. I do have some Indian in me, and I am mixed with a few other things, but African was never told to me. I'm 48 years old. My family is from North Carolina and Georgia. But I live in Michigan. I live in Detroit, Michigan. So I'm just sharing a little bit of piece of me. And I don't care about showing my information, because it's, to me, at the end of the day, it's all some BS. So, Ab, you want me to get started, or you got anything else to say or add?
No, I just want people to be optimistic when looking at this. You know what I'm saying? Stay open-minded. You can all do your own research and look at the lamentations in the excerpts and some of the errors that occur when dealing with DNA genealogy. So we're just gonna let you break down your test results. Let's get it in. Everything is on the screen. We're waiting on you, sis. Let's go. Yeah, before we get started, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat if everybody can see the screen clear. We want to make sure everybody can see the screen real clear. We want to make sure everything is clear on the screen, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. You heard? We need y'all to support the channel. Shay, we waiting on you. We on the page that you screen share. So wherever you need to screen share something else, just let me know. I see your mouse moving, so you can unmute yourself and talk as you go.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was on mute here.
And listen, you ain't got to worry about muting yourself. When you're ready to mute, I pay attention. I just mute you myself and I unmute you. So you
okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Can y'all still hear me?
Yep, we hear you clear.
Okay. All right. I want to go into. I'm gonna show y'all my ancestry results. So first things first. Okay, ancestry report. I just hit that. It's gonna come up. All right, that's me. Can y'all see that?
Okay, now listen, that's what I want you to do. If you can take your fingers, you know how to do it, and zoom in on that particular area over there so we can get close in on some of those numbers that we see, the percentages that we see over there to the left.
Can you want me to zoom in?
Yeah, if you can just take your mouse and you know how you do it. You know how to zoom in, right?
Okay, hold on.
Just take your 2 fingers and spread them out. I don't know what kind of mouse you got. Yeah,
can y'all see that?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's get it.
All right, now. All right, I took this test, and basically it's saying I'm 72.7% African. All right. So we're gonna go down the list just to give you an idea. I want everybody to try to remember Nigerian, right? It's saying I'm 32.1% Nigerian, right? Just keep that in the back of y'all heads for a second. I'm gonna go on down this list. So these are all the places I suppose my ancestors are supposed to be from in Africa, right? I'm just going down the list. I just wanted y'all to see that. Now, this is the European in my family. It's saying I'm 26.0% European. So I'm going to go on down the list. These are the places I'm supposed to be, my ancestors are supposed to be from. And then we get to East Asian and Indigenous Americans. Now, they just changed this part to Indigenous Americans because it used to just say Indian. It used to say Indian. Now it's saying Indigenous American, East Asian, Indigenous American. And trace ancestry and unassigned is they still trying to figure that out. So, yeah. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I ain't computer lit like that.
It's all good. Take your time.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to share that as well as, like I said before,
it's two different results, right?
Huh?
You got two different results this man taking.
I got two different results, right?
Just so this is one we just looked at, right? And can you explain the difference in results before we get into that? You do, or if you know the difference.
The difference, everything. I'm gonna take us over to scientific details, right? And there's really no difference. It's going. I'm still trying to. I'm still a little bit confused about. I'm really not confused because I just feel like they on some BS. They trying to make us be or related or connected to some people. I really just I don't resonate with that. But I ain't gotta dog and drag and drill nobody because I know I'm not you. Even though if you come for me, I will. But for the most part, it's just I don't know. I don't know what mess they on. But this stuff need to be out in the open. People need to know 23andMe give out two results. So I want to move on to scientific details. But now, mind you, it said I'm 32.1% Nigerian, Ghana 8 Simbi Gambia 7.5. Like, just remember that, right? Because I'm gonna take us over.
I even see a little bit of hunter and gatherer in it.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yep. It got where that's it. Yeah, hunter and gather 1.7. Senegal, Sudan, Sub-Saharan Africa, like what? Yeah, and then they got Europe, British, the 23% there, Scandinavia, broadly Northwest European, like I'm Spanish and Portuguese. Yeah, this stuff none of this stuff was ever told to me about my family. And I just wanted to be, I'm gonna be honest, like my family, I asked my grandmother, she was like, look, we always been from here. She was like, I don't know nothing about us being from Africa. Now, where I'm from, this is my father's side of the family. And I do, my grandfather, he's from North Carolina. He's Geechee, and he's not Gullah. He's just Geechee. Then my grandmother, she got some French in her. She said she did say we got some Indian. And she also said I think she said a little German, but for the most part, I go by black, colored, and Negro. I don't do nothing Indian. I don't do nothing African, and no disrespect. So anyway, let me go back up here to the top. Well, I'm gonna take us over the scientific details because this is what I want y'all to see. This right here. Now we over here at scientific details. I'm going down the list.
Okay.
And it's giving us it's finna give me a whole new DNA results, right?
Right.
So, and I want y'all to help me figure this out. What is they trying to say? So now we over here in scientific details. Please share this information. Please hit the thumbs up and please share this information. Y'all got my permission. Okay, now mind you, it just said I was Nigerian. Now I told y'all to keep in mind I was 32.1% Nigerian.
I want y'all to pay attention. This is the part where I want y'all to get y'all phones out, screen record this part, put this shit on all social media platforms right here. This that bullshit. Let's get it.
Yeah. So now how I go from being 32.1% Nigerian ancestry to it not, it's saying not detected. And so what it reads, it says, although we've detected Nigerian DNA in your ancestral breakdown, we have not identified more specific locations that your recent ancestors may have called home. I don't even understand it. I mean, I'm reading it, but
can you enlarge this screen as well for the
I
view?
sure can.
Thank you.
Is that good?
All right. A little more, just a little more, just a little more.
Y'all see that? Now, mind you,
perfect. Somebody said make it bigger.
I'll put them glasses on. Take that, get that cataract surgery. Okay, just playing, fam. Okay, all right, now we're gonna go on down the list. Now,
so they ain't detecting no Nigeria. They ain't detecting that, even though they say you Nigerian, the mostly percentage. They ain't even detecting it, is what they said. They just made it up.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Yep. We all on the same page. Yeah. So, like I said, y'all hit that thumbs up and please share this. Now, it said it's identical to the same results that I just mentioned in Ancestry, all the way down the list right here. It's saying that not detected. Ghana, Sierra Leone, all these places that it's saying my ancestry was there, now it's not there. Let me go on every place. All this, the same results, everything, the same percentages. So now it's not detected. Although we detected, broadly West African DNA, your ancestral breakdown have not identified, okay, so why is you telling me this?
So why the fuck they tell you Nigerian if it ain't identifying no, it don't detect Nigerian?
Yeah, it's not making no sense. I'm going on down the list because there's one other little thing I want to show y'all. I'm just going on down.
Hey man, listen, hit that like button, share the live stream, man. Support the channel, man. Call in too, man. If y'all have any questions about this, trust me, we will be opening up the call lines for you guys to ask any questions. So yeah, man, share the live stream. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can see it, seeing on the screen right now. Non-detected. If y'all see it on the screen just like we see it, drop a fire emoji. Continue, Sister Shay.
Okay. Now I'm going on down the list. It's just everything that it said I was in Africa, scientifically, I'm not that now, magically, I'm not, African. I'm strolling on down. And if anybody need me to go back, I will.
Carbon crowns. Your DNA test says you 87% Madagascan. You from Madagascar, cuz.
Now, the one thing, hold on, let me pull that down. Now, the one thing, now I'm showing y'all this. Now I'm at Europe now, right? I'm at Europe. So let me bring down Europe because I just brought down the African, right?
So none of the African shit was detected, and we on that same chart, right? Percentages, right?
Yeah, on the same test. I just went from ancestry to scientific details.
Okay, so now we're looking at the European details.
Now, like I just told y'all, my grandmother told me I got some French in me, I got a little German, and I got some Geechee. Well, my grandfather is Geechee. Now I'm just giving y'all my father's side, my father's the information I've got from my grandmother. So anyway, the one thing I do want to say is they say women supposed to take 2 tests, and we need to get a one of our father or our brother to do a test. So I'm going to get one of my father's deceased, but I am going to get one of my brothers. I have 6 little brothers. Well, they ain't little, they grown. I'm the oldest. I have 6 younger brothers. I'm gonna get one of them to take the test so I can get another results, and I can come back on here and tell y'all what that say. Because they say women supposed to get 2 tests, because this is only talking about your mitochondrial, if I said that word right, results.
Yeah, mitochondria, yeah, DNA. Yeah.
So it, like I said, but it's still, because I'm gonna show y'all something else too once we get finished here. So now I didn't pull down the European, right? So this was the only thing that came back likely a match from the United Kingdom. 23%. That was the only thing.
Zoom in on it if you can enlarge the screen for us one more time, sister.
Can y'all see that? Perfect. That was the only thing that came back on this whole test, which I had already knew that. I ain't ashamed about nothing and nobody in my family. And when I say French, I don't mean white either. That's the first thing somebody think in their head. So, yeah. I don't claim to be French. I don't claim to be Indian. I don't claim to be anything but black, colored, and Negro, because that's what I grew up as here in North America. But y'all, can y'all see this, AP?
Yeah, I see it.
And throughout this whole test, that was the only thing that came back likely a match. I ain't finished because I'm gonna go on down so y'all can see with these people. Hold on. I'm gonna go on down this test. Now, this is all the places. Okay, now Scandinavia, not detected. Finland, Finnish, I'm not, none of this. It's 0% for all these places here. This still Europe, all these places. Hold on, let's see. I can't, yeah. But anyway, all this stuff is saying not detected. Let me go on down. So Spanish and Portuguese, not detected. Now on Ancestry, it was saying I was all this. Y'all see all that?
Right.
I'm not related to nothing on that side of that world except for a European. Well, I don't even know what Balkan. I don't even know what these places is. Greece and Romania, Italian, zero, all these places, all this stuff. Ashkenazi, Jewish, zero. Eastern European, all that. So all that. So we just went through Europe. Now, what's this? East Asia and Indigenous American.
Drum roll. Hold on, we're gonna get into this. Let's take a little second for this one. Hold on. Yeah, y'all drop them fire emojis. Y'all ready to see this one? Yeah, goddamn. We need some people to support the channel today. How many people in shirt this motherfucker today? Drop a fire emoji if you shirt. Don't lie, you going to hell
or jail.
Oh shit. So don't lie, nigga. Hit that like button, share that motherfucker at least once. All right. Hit that thing at least once. If you ain't following me on Instagram, go follow me at big_Aboriginal_power. Shay, you want to drop your social medias or anything if you got any?
I actually just started a page. I haven't put. I will be putting some content up soon, so y'all bear with me. It's Shaypink 40. So if y'all want to start following me, you can. So I will be putting up some things soon.
Y'all go follow the sister, man. Show some love. We got some new feminine energy coming in, dropping some information. You know what I mean? Y'all got to support it. Yeah. Make them feel comfortable getting online. Make it feel like it's worth their time, goddamn. Everybody can't do this. It takes a lot of people to get up here and talk in front of 114 people, you know what I'm saying, without breaking it and actually getting to it. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Shay. She rocking it out tonight. Let's keep it going.
Okay, y'all. So we are at East Asian, Indigenous American. That's also not detected all the way down the list. For the places that they said that I was, that's not detected. And then what's funny with this here, they equate Indian with East Asian or Indigenous American. So I don't know what that's all about, because like I said previously,
these Mongoloids as the true Indian DNA. That's why when they doing these DNA tests to these ancient people and they testing these modern Mongoloids, that's why it's coming back. No, these ain't the same people. They tested the wrong motherfucker.
Yep.
Straight up. They ain't never tested me for no motherfucker. See if I connect with Lucy. Straight up. So we don't want to hear that shit. They ain't tested none of y'all in the chat to see if y'all connect with these people down there, them ancient peoples and them bones that they found in the mounds. They ain't testing none of us for that. Straight up. But my bad. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay. Continuing. Let me go on down the list. These are places it's saying not detected. Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia, China, 0, Filipino, 0, broadly Chinese, 0, Japanese, 0, Korean, 0, Mongolia, Siberian. You can see all this is saying 0. Even if I hit this, all this is saying 0, 0, 0. All these places, 0%, 0%. Just not detected, 0, 0. Hit that. Fiji, 0.
Something not right. I seen 4% somewhere. I'll go back to that. Where was that at? 4%. I seen that. It said unassigned. What the fuck that mean?
Oh, they haven't got there to that area yet.
Well, my bad.
Yeah, waiting on that.
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah. Cryptic Egyptian. I don't even Egyptian. I don't even know a lot of these places exist. All this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's either not detected or 0. Okay. This right here. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Indigenous American. All this. So, and they got Alaska, Columbia River Basin, Great Basin, New Lakes in Canada. This is what they call it, Indigenous American. Indigenous American. It's saying 3%, but everything is still saying not detected. Pure confusion, right?
Definitely odd, because it has a high percentage of percentage that they're giving you to ancestral, and then when it comes to the detection of it, is 0% or is non-detected. This is a myth buster. I think we just debunked one. I think we just debunked this. We waiting on you, so we're gonna do an update to this.
Yeah, we definitely got to
update to this. But so far, so right now, this is not making any sense. It's actually almost telling you exactly what we've been saying. DNA tests cannot associate you to a landmass
or particular tribes
or particular people.
Yep.
I apologize. Shit.
No, but we needed to see this because I see people doing a DNA test results and everything, and I'm the type of person I look through stuff and read stuff with a fine-tooth comb.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, don't nobody talk about this. And I've been saying this for the longest, you know, just dropping it in the chats in certain rooms, but sometimes everybody don't see it, or you know what I'm saying, not paying attention. And I've been saying it for a long time, like 23andMe give out 2 DNA results. Please check yours. I always say they give out ancestry and then they give out scientific details. So please hit the thumbs up and share this because we need for this to go viral because this is completely ridiculous.
As a matter of fact, man, hey, if you finish, man, we can open up the call lines real quick. Hey, the call-in number is on the screen at the bottom of the screen. Also, cash at the bottom right. So make sure y'all support and call in.
Okay, Ab, I got one other thing to show y'all, right? Hold on, let me make sure I went down all the way down this list. Because you know people it didn't go all the way down.
All the way down. Yeah. Looking at
everything, everything. That's because they ain't found nothing here. But anyway, I got one other thing, right? That tripped me out just real quick. Now, it say your paternal results, right? Your paternal results, which is your father, maternal is your mother, and then it give you your Neanderthal results. But hold on, there's one little piece I want to show y'all, fam, real quick before we take some calls.
Moderators, put that number in the chat too, man. Put the call-in number in the chat.
See, because they playing with us, and I'm tired.
Straight up.
I don't care about nobody talking about I got Neanderthal in me because somehow it's saying I got 2%, and I do got a little Caucasian in me, but that's 4 generations back.
See, that Neanderthal could be cold for ancient humans. See, I'm not too sold out on this Neanderthal hominid shit, man. I'm not too. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's interesting. A Neanderthal.
Yeah. So wait a minute. Let me go back. That's not what I wanted to hear. It's one little thing I want to show y'all before we take the calls. Give me 1 second.
Straight up.
I ain't ashamed of nothing that I am. Okay.
Calling numbers on the screen too. Calling numbers on the screen.
Now, can y'all hold on? I don't know if y'all can see this, but it got paternal, maternal, then it got Neanderthal. What you need to know what type of Neanderthal?
We don't see none of it. Oh yeah, we do. Just
Yeah,
zoom in on it just a little bit for the family so they can see it.
I can't zoom for some reason. I can't zoom in on this one.
On this page, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Listen, you can go above it. Go above like to where that pink right there, and then try to spread it. Yeah, like right there. Still ain't let you.
No, can you zoom in on it? Okay, real quick.
I just want to go here.
It just say it say paternal and maternal and Neanderthal. What like why you need it? Like if you got your mother and father, what you need to know about some Neanderthal?
That's
but
funny.
Anyway,
that's funny as hell.
Ain't that funny? Now I just want to show this one little piece.
They ain't got alien DNA on it.
No. They ain't got that beat me up, Scotty. So now it say I'm L. Now, mind you, before I tell y'all this information, mind you, they only got Africa, they only got Europe, and they only got like Asia for Indian, right? They only got that side of the world. They don't even have America on this test, North America on this test at all. At all. So that was one other thing I wanted to point out, fam. Now, okay, so now it say my haplogroup. Now, and this didn't change. I'm L2A1. And most women in America, brown, black, light skin is a L, some type of L. Most of us is like 95% of us. So, because I look at other people's results, right? But it's one little piece I wanted to read to y'all. So it's saying I'm L2A1, but when I did this test years ago, it said I was L2A1A. But when they updated, it took the A off behind the 1. But it was one little piece I wanted to point out, y'all. And I'm going to take 1 second with this. Now, I'm going to just skip on down. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Perfect. Now, this ridiculous shit right here is what I wanted to speak on.
Let's go.
And y'all can read. Or
drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can see the screen. You know what I mean? Drop them fire emojis. Let us know what's going on.
This is what's tripping me out, fam. It say then beginning. Now y'all can go behind me and read all this, but this is just a little tip piece right here, tippet piece I wanted to read out. It say then beginning about 4,000 years ago, 2 sub branches of L2A1, L2A1A, and L2A1B were swept up with the Bantu speaking people of Africa. So that means we 2 different people. We were swept up with the Bantu speaking people of West Africa. These people who had been practicing farming for thousands of years or more began to expand their territory and gradually introduce both their languages and their way of life to their eastern and southern neighbors. Today, both L2A1A. Now, mind you, I'm L2A1. But anyway, it say today L2A1A and L2A1B are well represented in South Africa. So the L2A1s, which is me, was swept up with Bantu. And we combined our languages. Y'all see what I'm talking about? And somehow they trying to make us be one people or the same people, and we just not. But that was the only thing I wanted to point out.
That's
And
interesting.
if that made sense or didn't make sense, y'all get the gist of what I'm saying.
Or if y'all got questions, man, call in, man. The call in number is on the screen. So we're gonna
Yeah,
take
I'm done, but I wanted to get that out, that little bit out.
No, for sure though. Yeah, no, that's dope though, and that's intriguing to hear that particular one because it's saying that it's two different types of DNA, but all of a sudden they got swept up, which created this branch off sub thing. Who are these other people? And you can't say that they come from Africa if it wasn't already around to mix with. You see what I'm saying? And it had to come from somewhere else. They trying to hide this undetected DNA is what I'm saying. This shit is all faulty. You know what I'm saying? But the call-in number is on the screen. You guys call in. We're going to give y'all a quick 30 seconds, 60 seconds to call in. 60 seconds to hit the call in. We're going to take a quick 60-second break, man. We'll be right back. Call in, man. The number's on the screen.
Yeah. Hey, man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they mean.
All right, man. We ain't got nobody call in yet. So what's going on? Nobody got no questions? If not, we're gonna get ready to get out of here, man.
Yeah, where the Pan-Africans at?
I would love for them to come in and ask some questions.
Please make sure they get this.
Yeah, definitely. They always talk about us. Go take your test. Go take your test. Show us what the results say. It says non-detected, brother. It says non-detected, Sonetta. Can you explain that, sir?
And they can't, and they ain't. Completely ridiculous.
So yeah, that's very interesting, man. So yeah, the call-in number is on the screen, man. Call in. Goddamn it, call in, goddamn. Pseudo nonsense. Yeah, man. It's almost like cause we know astrology is like kind of weird. It's almost like the same way. It's almost like a formula of guessing. Using computer computes to solve these equations and problems to give you an answer, which is faulty because it ain't reality. If they had the numbers to do that, man, they could be fucking creating robots that had neurons like cockroaches. As soon as you create them, they already know the ability to walk and move and maneuver. Or like turtles or baby alligators when they first hatch. You know, they already got the function and movement. You understand what I'm saying? So no, they ain't got this down pat. We wired something different.
Yeah, I don't understand if I don't know why they want us to be them so bad. Like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, why we just can't be two separate people and go from there. We don't have to be the same people. You know, if I leave anywhere outside of America, I'm considered a foreigner. Even in Africa, I can't go over to Africa and buy no land. I used to have my real estate license for 10 years. I cannot go outside of America and buy no land. I can rent some land if they allow me to, up to 99 years. I can rent a lease land, but I cannot buy land. I can't even get in politics in Africa. And one other thing too, because I got questions. and I already know they can't answer them. Who was taken from Africa and brought to America? Who's missing? You know what I'm saying? They can go all the way back to Adam and Eve and they lineage, but who was taken? Who cousin, grandmama, uncle, cousin, child, friend? Nobody never said, yeah, about 200 years ago or 50 years ago, my grandma was taken. You know, you'll never hear none of that. None of it. I don't resonate with it, but I don't have to dog people out at the end of the day. But if you come for me, I will. And I try not to be like that. I try to have clear understandings and how can we move forward. I ain't got time for all that, you know, heartache and hurt feelings. You know, I want us to, cause y'all, look, let me tell y'all black men, Aboriginals, copper colored people, we the shit all by ourselves. We ain't got to be a part of nobody, but we ain't got to disrespect either. We great alone. Everybody copy us globally.
We really are, man. We're brilliant people, man. We don't understand how much resilient we got, how much inspiration that lies within our people. I mean, from people from here to there, it doesn't matter where you are around the globe. We as a people has showed through our worst, through our deprived, during our most treacherous and harsh times that we went through, we still improve, we still created, we still invented, and we still sustained it and stayed with our moral codes for the most part. And we just got to get back to doing that, man. We got to get back to loving on ourselves, shopping with ourselves, understanding that we need just us. We ain't got to worry about everybody else. We ain't got to lean on nobody else. We just got to deal with us. Everything else will fall into action. You heard it?
Yeah, I just feel like once we realize that we didn't got to be from nowhere else, I'm not a religious person. If you are, you know, more power to you. I feel like the religions have, you know, separated us. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like, you know, people get these stories, they get asphyxiated on being related to Jesus and you know, and all these other characters. But at the end of the day, we ain't got to do none of that. You know, you can go make your own language right now. You can write your own Bible. They got paper, like all you gotta do is fill out the paperwork. Anybody, you can make your own language, you can write your own Bible. You ain't even gotta be a part of that. And unless you just want to, you want to be indoctrinated and follow the leader.
Right.
We gotta do that because we are that great.
Now that's a fact though, Shay. And that's what we gotta really stick on, man. We got I got the 330 number calling in. 330 area code. State your name, where you calling from, man. You thought I'm talking to Big Aboriginal Power on the Waking Bay Show. You got any questions for Sister Shay?
Yeah, my name is Phil, and my family comes from North Carolina.
All right.
Rockingham, that area.
All right.
And my mother's people are Catawba. My father's people are Siouan. And how they got along, but they married amongst each other, so we're pretty close. I get a DNA too, from family tree DNA. And when I get my DNA, it says it claims that I was E1B1A and indigenous of America. The map that they show, I have no people in Africa. I may be connected to the E-waves, but that's a very, very small percentage. And I know that E1B1A is equated to Hebrews. And I used to talk to Carl Weathers, the DNA guy.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, a great majority of the E1B1A are all in the United States. Meaning that we're separate people. And they're going by that identity. If you're of color, it's that, you know, if you quack like a duck, you are a duck, which isn't true, because archaeologists and everything else have proved that we're two different people.
Right.
Our skeleton, our muscle mass, and everything else is completely different. Our coloring, they have sienna, which are browns and yellows in their coloring, whereas we have reds and oranges in our coloring. They do know who we are, and the DNA thing, when it was set up, now I did mine back in back before 2000. I think it was like 1999, and that was before they owned your DNA once you submit it. So my DNA, I still own mine, but the thing is that what they were trying to do was, and this is what they're trying to do. When you do a DNA test and they equate you to Africa, you're just like the white people. You're a pilgrim. You come from a different place and you migrated here. And, you know, but if it shows that you are from here, then we have a stronger argument when we claim that we want what's ours. And that's where a lot of people get it mixed up at, because they ask for reparations. And they talk about being a slave. My family, we were never slaves. And we went from being called Indians, Negroes, then colored, and then black. And most of us, when we got those that marker of color, what's written in the records, especially down in the Carolinas.
Right, and that's why it's important for us to take our time out and be critical of the conditioning of our people, which is hard.
Right.
You know, the indoctrination has set sail, and like you said, we're not African. You know what I'm saying? African Americans ain't African at all.
Right.
Or who is the American in your family? It ain't. If it is African American, who is the American?
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
you can't be two.
The thing is,
exactly.
With most of us, because our people didn't talk a lot, especially if you moved out. When you moved out and your family was called colored or Negro, they classed you as being defranchised. And that's where a lot of times we run into problems, because when we're doing this DNA research, if you're lucky, you're able to go back to the mid 1700s. If you go to the Church of Latter-day Saints and look at their records, they got better records. You'll go back to when we use what they call Indian names. And I've been suspicious about that one too, because
you got to be suspicious of. You got to be suspicious.
A great grandmother who was called White Cow Woman, and this woman was black.
Yeah, her mama didn't call her no damn white cow woman. Come on now, we got to use critical thinking when we look at some of this, because a lot of this is later on inserts. Those records from the early 1700s, I'm gonna be real with you. The facts of those still been around, and the ones that you think that's not the ones you're looking at are refurbished. I don't think we have any original documents from the 17.
Actually, here's one thing, and it's been turned up lately, a lot lately, since the Smithsonian has to take all of that stuff that they've been hiding in the basement. And what happened was, this country got bum rushed in the 1800s, not the 14th, not the 15th, not the 16th or the 17th.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, we got bum rush in the 1800s, sir, and not just by Europeans, by heavy influence.
Right, it's all of them from over there.
This is how the East Arabs started getting in here. This is how the Asian, the Mongoloid phenotype. They did a lot of these by way of ushering these people in and then condition them to the American way of their colonization through these world expedition camps. You see what I'm saying? They call them world's first.
Do you know who got us first?
The Mormon.
Nope. The people that got us first were.
The reason I say the Mormon is.
I guess you.
The reason I say the Mormon is because they're the first people to do archaeology on this. On this land.
Well,
and a lot of the documented stuff wasn't documented in America. As a matter of fact, they sent it to the East London Museum and the English Museum.
Now, King James. What color was King James?
Well, that could be up for debate. Some say he's white, some say he's melanated. No. It could be up for debate. Some say he don't even exist.
Right, but King James was black. The first person that they said, the first group of people that came over here, because they knew about over here, they were of color. And they said people of color because we would trust them. And we let them into what we were doing. We showed them how to do what we were doing. Once they got our trust, that's when they wormed their way into our government, because technically all the laws that are based in the United States is based on what we had going. They just added to it and made loopholes into it.
Yeah. Look at it. Even these people that you're talking about, right? These melanated people, if you will, these Slavic slaves that's coming from Europe being snatched up by these melanated people to make. But what you're understanding is they was up under a different government, rule. So what did we have to do? See, this is what we don't understand. June the 3rd, 1773 is when it all started with the expatriation.
Well, that's when
they was allowed to fully be American at that time. That's when you allowed them to be American. That happened in 1773. They got the independence letter written back in July the 4th of 1776. This is when they celebrated the 4th of July, the independence.
You know what really happened? That's when the brown people that came over here, we let them into our government. We let them start. They were in the.
Well, you got to understand this too, though. These same people, we wouldn't allow no regular people that we don't know, some foreigners. See, we gotta go back. We gotta go back a little bit so we can have a clear understanding. You go back to the 13th century, right? You got one of the biggest influence of medicine coming from the Americas. This is documented in the pre-Columbian oceanic voyages. Right. So you got us going to Europe, setting up shop. Fast forward to 1491, right? Motherfuckers invade that place of Europe where we was. Yeah. They come over here. Now they setting up contracts. They trying to get expatriated from what's going on from over there. They held up under these other people's rule. So what do? We expatriate. Now we fast forward to 1700. That's how long that process took. We talking 200, 150 years before the Boston Tea Party.
Right. And in the Boston Tea Party, which that's evident, they'll tell you that they got no help off of us.
Correct.
What they did was they had clothing that we wore, and they used charcoal.
Let's talk about that clothing real quick. You know what they call that clothing that we wore? And a lot of people ain't going to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it right now.
Okay.
That clothing became what they call Victorian wear.
Yes.
That Victorian era came from indigenous people, black people, niggas, Indians, Aboriginals.
We always been fly.
Right.
There's never a time that we wasn't. And so when you and when you go and look at the Victorian wear, this was done during what time? Pre-antebellum. It led into antebellum eventually, But these pre-antebellum shit was Aboriginal bases. These are the communities that they talk about when you read into the American Indian Encyclopedia. These are the cities and the communities that they're talking about. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. And a lot of taken over.
No, you right.
Our biggest mistake was, and there's a professor who was teaching at some university just recently who actually put it out to the people. He said, look, the history that we've been teaching is dead wrong. He said, think about it. What do you think would happen if you had 100 white people coming with guns, dogs, etc., to a all-black country? He said, what do you think would happen to them?
Not just that, not just the all-black country, an all-black country that has organization, it has government, it has military, it has science, it's advanced with technology, because of the lack of them moving and them staying stagnant and understanding and using their creativity to manipulate matter and resources around them to sustain and advance themselves. This becomes the issue to a foreign asset that is totally foreign terrain to them. You're in somebody else's playing field. This is not the way they came in. As a matter of fact, it's the total opposite way than the introduction of what we got with Europeans. We got them coming in as Slavic slaves or indentured servants or as freight or as animals.
You are being kind because they came here as slaves.
Yes. Or and listen, they had them labeled as so many miscellaneous things throughout time, from slaves, indentured servants to freight to animals. They had them labeled as from the earliest 1600s to fucking hell 1910 till they put the act of stopping white slavery in its hole. You know, there was other laws and states that put out laws like the Virginia Assembly in the 1600s, and other states like Alabama and Massachusetts that put out these particular things, but it was still going on in other states until they put a hold on it, a stop on it in whole in 1910. The Mann Act, white slavery. You understand?
Right. What they did away with white slavery. They came out with the Colored Act. The Colored Act made all marriages to anybody white non and void.
Yeah, or any Christian at that particular time.
Right, but a lot of the white women that they brought over here, a lot of our people took them in and had babies with them too.
No, listen, and listen, there was a lot of those cases, brother, and I'm glad you brought that up. There was a various different cases of these Slavic slave women and children, runaways, right? Running away from their enslaved towns and encampments and running into these luxury nigga cities, right? Pre-Black Wall Street, but it was popping already. You know what I'm saying? Naturally. You see what I'm saying? And they would run to these places and they would become shoe shine workers. They become servants. They become hosts and waitresses. That's how you get the term waitresses is from. When you go back and look at the etymology, it goes back to a white slave as an indentured servant. Oh,
I've been researching for almost 35, 40 years.
That's good.
That was just to do my genealogy. I used to teach Eastern Band Native Americans to public school. I would do that for free. When I gave lectures, they paid me for it. Okay? I have years of research.
That's what's up, bro.
The thing is that all of us people that call ourselves colored, black, Negro, and that pseudo Jesse Jackson African American crap, we're furthering to defranchise ourselves from our own country.
Right, right. And these words do mean a lot, especially when we get into legal matter. And that's why we got to really start. And that's why we really got to start formalizing certain words that's constructed that to bring strength and power to us, which is why I have the name Aboriginal and then the word power to it, because the word Aboriginal in this particular land and context and law is power. And once we understand that, is very important. So I want people to understand, no matter what name that you decide to use, I want you to understand who your peoples are in totality,
right,
and what they have been called throughout time, and what their cultures is, what their inventions was, what their innovations has been in contribution to the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important, because all you know is that you were a slave and you was whipped and you was beat and you was sprayed with holes, you was hung, you was set on fire, your dinglings was cut off, women was castrated. You will have a demoralizing factor, and when they project the people who did it, which is the people that you got to go to in the social security line, the people you got to go to for employment, the people you got to go to for almost every miscellaneous thing that you see set up in America, it becomes a sense of victimhood, becomes a transgenerational trauma, becomes the set in, and it be passed down from generation to generation. And we're here to expel that, because it's a false illusion, and it's a artificial insert into our history. And now people has regurgitated, people actually believe this part of history that has been artificially inserted in here. So we here to do the surgical removement of that part of your brain to get rid of that, because it's tainted.
And what people need to do when you do your research, if you find the name of the tribe that your mother or your father's people come from, that's what you identify as.
I think it's deeper than that. I think when you start hearing the tribes, it's already corruption going in. You see what I'm saying?
There's corruption going in, but that's a tie, because most of us, what we'll do is
I think we just have to use a whole different word with a whole bunch of power that's never been put on our people that you can legally use, and we go from there to start formulating new terms and for our nation states.
Most people don't realize that there were over 500 nations.
Yeah, 500 nations. And people usually only regurgitate the 5 sellout tribes. People often only regurgitate the 5 sellout tribes, or nations, excuse me.
And the thing is that in every nation, there was 50 to 100 tribes under that nation. Do you remember? I'm going to hit you up with this one. And then I'm going to let you talk, because you're doing a lot of good things. Most indigenous males, every Saturday, Friday or Saturday, you were getting a haircut. Why do you think you were getting a haircut? It wasn't to go to Sunday church, but that was the excuse that was used.
I don't know what the fuck it was. That's a good ass question, because I know my damn granddaddy, God rest his soul, every Saturday I should go get my hair cut, or every other Saturday if I was away.
You know, I'm going to tell you why that was done.
Talk to me.
If your hair was long, all the way up until the later 60s, you could be snatched up by the government and taken and put on the reservation. So they knew who you were.
Oh no!
See, I just wanted to,
disagree.
Y'all, but look, the reservations that we have here, fam, the reservations that's here, those are considered private countries. They are countries within America. My family ain't never lived on no reservation. Let me tell you. Those reservations are up under the federal government. The only benefits they really get is welfare.
I'm gonna be honest though. I done did my genealogy. My wife done did her genealogy. we've been looking into people's genealogy for a while, and got close associates that ensure some of their genealogy experiences. And listen, man, one of the few things that you're not going to see is your people rowdied up on the raggedy ass rugged land that's restricted, that you can only operate with your own government and police on. We have never been on no reservations. Now, the closest thing that they done did to reservations is land grab and gentrification.
Let me explain that to you. The young lady who lives in North Carolina. Have you ever heard of the Philadelphia community?
Yeah, in North Carolina.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
That's in Rockingham, on the outskirts next to Scotland County and McStreet County. That's 680 acres of land that belongs to the families that live on that land. Okay?
Right.
In North Carolina, because the sellouts, which were the Cherokees, they gave the Cherokees what they call the reservation. The rest of North Carolina, because if they would have gave all of the different tribes, the PD, the Shawnee, and all of that was down there, if they would have gave them their land, they wouldn't have no land for the white people to be on. So what they did was, the ones who fought for it, they delegated them with land, but they called them communities. So if your family comes from a community, if you backtrack that community, you'll find you will actually find the tribe's name, because
hey, and listen, to take it a step farther though, and once you backtrack even farther, you'll find out that it was cities and communities and neighborhoods, thousands and thousands of years before that, in that same area, with the same city plan out, neighborhood, urban development, 1,000 years ago. So what we may be saying is not a misplacement or somebody reservating the community. This is just them controlling the infrastructure of the community. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
and that's what I'm saying. They ultimately took up, and that's what they have shown with them grasping control of the infrastructure. This is how they able to implement systematic plans like gentrification
and eminent domain. My family still got a lot of their land. The ones that they didn't sell, we still got a lot of our land. You know, everybody's family wasn't no hoes.
And I can almost guarantee you that they start taxing it after a certain period of time.
Absolutely.
Taxes, you only pay taxes on it if you get hooked up to the city sewer, lights, plumbing and stuff like that. It's up to you. You don't have to. Like, you know, we got some land right now that's in Alabama that we do have plumbing and electricity hooked up to it. We're not really doing nothing with it per se right now. It's a lot of it, but the taxes a year, that's only because we got that particular land hooked to city plumbing, to the state plumbing. But we don't have to, but we ain't trying to do that old fashioned wells and all that stuff. And the taxes is like $200 a year.
Right. And like, think about it. When you paying taxes for your electricity and your plumbing, y'all, you're not getting robbed. It's not no dupe. Listen, you don't want to go haul buckets of fucking cold water with a rope up a long ass well shaft. You understand me? And most of y'all don't know how to read.
Yeah, that's what they doing on them Indian reservations. They living like, I'm telling y'all, like I done said this before, and no disrespect, they living fucked up on them Indian reservations to this day. They is burning wood. They barely got they don't pay no taxes, but that's because they living off the grid. That's why.
Why do you think that most of them are alcoholics or drug addicts?
Well, the reason they're alcoholic is actually have to do with the Asian DNA. Asians cannot reciprocate and take in alcohol contact. And we know that the people that we call Native Americans have a lot of percentage of Asian DNA or Mongoloid DNA. So that's why they can't take alcohol. Asian people just can't take alcohol, according to science.
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, our people, we are missing a gene, which we can outdrink most people. Now, the thing is that missing that gene, you can drink yourself and mess up your head because you pickle your brain. You know, you can do that to yourself. That's what happens with us. I used to, when I was in the military, we used to drink for expensive scotch.
Red label, white label, black label. What you drinking?
Well, we were drinking Cutty Shark.
Oh, okay.
To get Crown Royal. You know. I could drink 2 fifths of Cutty Shark and drink myself sober. Okay? I have a sibling that he was addicted to beer. He could drink all the beer in the world. You know, get sclerosis of the liver, leave it alone for a year and clear back up.
Man, y'all gotta understand. Our people had the game on lock when it comes to the alcohol formula too. Go back to pre-prohibition. You had black alcohol companies and wine companies all through the world. I'll give you one example: Coca-Cola. A lot of people heard about Coca-Cola having cocaine in it. Well, it did have cocaine in it, but it was also a more alcohol beverage. It was a wine. It was a cocaine-based wine with a mellow
that
buzz
is correct.
that it gave to you. So
I remember when they redid. I remember when they had to redo the formula.
And listen, they was making so much money. It's almost whispers that they try to start prohibition to stop his flow of money, and it almost did. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't get right until he added the non-alcohol beverage form of the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, because people was addicted to it. I remember that.
This is how the Coca-Cola came around. So you got various different forms. Even the young guy, forget his name, that Boone's form eventually hired and worked for before he started making alcohol. I believe that guy actually mastered the recipe that we call Jack Daniels today.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels stole that from a nigga. That whole recipe.
Just about everything that is here was already here. What they did when they started bringing boatloads of white people here, they ran us out of our homes.
No, they
and
did.
The
hey,
people,
listen.
They put them in the home.
That's a fact, and that's what I was saying. That's as far as it goes. If we're gonna consider anything a reservation, is them displacing us. The displacement and the moving in of foreigners or tethers, is what I like to call them, is really the true downfall of our people. And I'll tell you that here in a second. I'm really enjoying this conversation with you, brother. Shout out to you again. Shout out to you once again. And I want to say shout out to the chat. We got 150 people in here now. I know y'all enjoying the bill. Make sure y'all run this back after the end of this. Make sure y'all check out them DNA results, the non-detections, all that, the whole weird percentage. Go look at that. I want y'all to check it out after this end of this live stream. I want y'all to drop a fire emoji in the chat. If y'all enjoying the live stream, support the channel. Cash App information is at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to everybody in the building. If y'all can hear everything loud and clear, drop a fire emoji in the chat. All right, go ahead, brother. You got the flow, man. I just want to shout out to the chat.
What most people are going to find out that will go to a DNA company today.
Right.
Their job is to prove that you didn't come from here. And it's just like, and you guys might be a little bit too young to remember it, but we had people who actually hired lawyers at $10,000 a family to fight for their reparations. They made it all the way up to the Supreme Court. The judge said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to tell us where you're from in Africa, and we're going to document it, and then we're going to proceed from there. Once those families started naming places in Africa, and it was all documented down, he said, okay, now let me explain this to you.
Well, that's because they getting reparations for they asking for reparations.
That's the okey doke.
For the wrong thing. We got to have that's why I say it's very important for us to have a clear understanding of history, because reparation is within reach of who our peoples are and what our peoples have done. But it's a certain angle that you have to take with this, and you have to be totally fucking let me see the word I'm looking for, very, very specific on what you're talking about, and what we're talking about is wages for war. We want wages for war, and we don't want just want reparations. We do want it, but we want also restitution. We need everything that was stolen from us, misstolen. We want the payment for being ratified on paper, what we call paper genocide. We want patents that was borrowed and never paid for. We want land that was taken and was never paid for. And so that's what we ultimately want. And within restitution, that engulfs, you understand me? It collectively adds in reparations, and we have to stand on that, because it's not just about a slave story. Our people dealt with Jim Crow, like I said. Our people dealt with sharecropping. Our people dealt with gentrification and misclassification on paper, which is fraudulent, and fraudulent does not have a statute of limitation. So we're looking at a crime here. And so we must be very specific when we're talking about this particular subject, and we must have a clear understanding on this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
I know. I've listened to you for quite some time.
I appreciate that.
I know that you do a lot of research. I know one of the things that is very tedious when you start sitting back and reading treaties, because you would have thought that most of those people were retarded by the way that they wrote.
No, I just believe the way they talk was different.
Yeah, if you ever get into it.
And to be honest, I used to get into those treaties in my earlier days. I'm talking 2017, 2000, and I've understood throughout my understanding. I no longer think like the way I used to think, and I'm critical, and I like to challenge my own talking points to make sure they're firm. And sometimes I find weaknesses in it. And one of the weaknesses that I found with the treaties that a lot of people use and reference to build up moral code is that the treaties is what we need to go back to. But the treaties were never respected. The treaties was never honored. The treaties never benefited our people. So I believe
you had a lot of treaties that were never signed, and that's why if you would check, you'll see that there's billions of unclaimed Indian money, and what they try to do is they try to wait out the people until they die. Till the whole tribe dies out. Then the government takes over the land, and that's how they work it.
Well, that's the story they give you. They give you the Cold War story. They killed all the Indians on paper. On paper. You see what I'm saying? So, and like I said, you can't force 1 million people to die. You can't force 1 million people on a boat. But what you can force 1 million people into is a citizenship. You can pack 1 million motherfuckers into a citizenship.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And take them outside of their land and put them in foreign land.
The guy on the $20 bill had a statement, and it went like this: he was going to kill the Indians off. That's one of those things where, when you see what they started doing, they were figuring out ways to claim everything for themselves.
No, you're right, man. And I just feel like, man, we're new people, and no shade to anybody that's in the past, but we got a lot of advantages, when it comes to understanding, mobilizing, organizing, and getting critical information at our fingertips. You understand me? It ain't like going to a library, hauling off heavy ass books, reading it, when you can just do it at the touch of your fingertips. So what I'm saying is, we at the expanse of information at a faster rate. We're able to mobilize people from around the world without traveling there. We're able to mobilize at a synchronous time, in a synchronous form, in a certain mission statement right now. So we got to take advantage of that. And we can do things that our ancestors never thought was possible, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't think we need to go back to thinking like that. I don't think we need to go back to no old ways. We the new ways, and we're going to do new shit, and we're going to figure it with a new formula. You understand what I'm saying? And through this indoctrination, we done created a culture that can't even be eradicated. It shouldn't be ignored. It shouldn't be dignified, and it shouldn't be denied. It should be embraced, which is the culture that we done created through being deprived, which is still being revered and respected and emulated around the world. We got to take pride in that and start cutting off other people from taking ownership to it. And this is going to start building up the sense of pride. This is when we start getting back into loving ourselves. And once that happens, it automatically creates what we call, or what we will refer to in historical times, Black Wall Street, is what I'm gonna refer to right now as Aboriginal greatness. And so that's what we're trying to put down right now. And this is the formula that we're trying to lay down, man. And we can't go back on these tricks. If anything, man.
It's people like you guys.
I appreciate it.
That's on YouTube. That's putting out stuff. People like UB News and some of the other ones that's putting out history that have these people. They're scared. They're actually scared. Why do you think that this country right now is throwing money at Europe? That Ukraine thing, they're throwing money at them like there's no tomorrow. And the thing is that the United States is backing a losing cause because they're already beat. But it's going to do it. At the same time, you have out in California, you have some other places that are talking about paying reparations. Okay.
My family has a house museum in Bakersville. It's either Bakersville or Bakersfield in California. I don't know specifically the relation, but my aunt said two of my uncles moved there. So, you know, I know Tyreek said he got a museum, you know, the first, but my family, it's a museum. You can look it up online. In Bakersville, it's either Bakersville. I've never been there, but I found out about it about 2 years ago. And also Aboriginal Power. You got some people in the D?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some folks in the D here.
Okay,
yeah.
So whenever you come back up here, because my family, my cousin, he just opened up a bar. It's nice as hell. It's called Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah, I definitely gotta check it out.
Yeah, so let me know when you and your fam or whoever you want to bring. Let me know. I'm gonna take y'all up there.
All right, say less then. I'm definitely gonna take you up on that for sure. For sure.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you one more thing, then I'm gonna get off.
All right.
Because you know what my last name is?
No, I don't, brother. Can you repeat your first name for us one more time?
My first name is Bill.
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 All right, appreciate you, Willie.
Nope, it's a Bill or a Philly. No Will, no nothing.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Shout out to you, Bill.
All right. My last name is Wall, W-A-L-L.
Bill Wall.
Right. Not with an S on it, because if it had an S on it, that would mean that I was mixed.
Well, Bill
I
Wall.
also want to say thank you too, Bill. That was very informational.
Yeah, I really do, man. I really enjoyed this conversation, Bill Wall. I don't have too many of these conversations online, and then where we get into depth, and you know, it's engaged. It's like having a conversation with someone I don't know, and I'm out in the regular world like I normally do, and we can engage on a conversation and have conversation, man, about what we know and what we display through conversations of what we know, and let people know what we don't know. Right. So, and there's more research to do on both sides. So shout out to you, brother, and I appreciate your wisdom. And I appreciate you for calling in.
But I know that the sister, she was asking questions about her genealogy, and that was meant to confuse.
Right.
And that's why they do it. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, if they can take us away from this country, we're pilgrims, just like they are. You can't even claim that you're a POW. And that's what they're trying to do. They think they're slick.
Right.
But too many people have found out
Yeah, it's over with. And not only have we found out, we done found the evidence of their crime. They left some shit behind, leading right to them. And we got it. You see what I'm saying?
And those titles that they give you,
that's the evidence.
You are able now, by law, to self-identify, which was something that people of color could never do. And once you identify as who you are, they have to stand up and take note to it. And they don't like it when you sit back and say, no, I'm indigenous. And you expect for them to write it down on the paper. When you go in to take a job, you write down that you're indigenous. The censuses, ever since they gave you the right, when Obama did it, remember he did 2 censuses. And that's because the first one, most of the people of color put down that they were black Indians. If you're black, you have no legal standing. So you are what you just said you were at the beginning. So
man, I feel like black did just fine when we wasn't working with these people. I feel like anything no matter what we call ourselves, long as we love and shop and build and understand ourselves, everything will be all right. Don't give a fuck if we call ourselves SpongeBobians. We could be the SpongeBobians. You understand me? As long as we understand that we need to work with only SpongeBobians, goddamn, that's all that matters.
We call ourselves that, but if we let them name us and we go with the name.
All of it. Listen, Indian is a name that they named us. Listen, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We can't say you could. We saying don't use black, but we got to use Indian. Indian is another name that they gave us, and that's why I look at it from a bird eye's point of view. And I'm not gonna argue with any name that any of our folks use because all of them are tainted. And I'm not going and I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to pick over one piece of tainted meat to eat the next piece of tainted meat. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to argue with someone about it neither.
The word indigenous says that you're native to that land.
Right, and that's why I use the word aboriginal because that's what that means as well. And it also means not native; it means first.
Right.
Since the beginning of time.
Right. That's almost the same thing.
Almost the same, yeah, and that's why we use them the way we use them: aboriginal, indigenous, and you can add in black because it's another classification that has a lot of sense of history which your people are attached to. And like I said, this is a crime scene, and that's part of the evidence to show the crime that was happening. They called you black. They changed your title from what it was to Indian. They called you a colored. Yeah, you was a Negro. These are the evidence to prove the genocide in the paper, genocide and the fraud.
My birth certificate said that I was colored. Now, what the hell is colored? And when I did my research,
we can't say that these people are frauds and then throw away all the evidence because you ain't gonna have shit to show that they was frauds. If you're not willing to accept what the damage that was done, so you can get wages for. You can't get compensation. You're not a victim of it. If you wasn't called no Negro, if your people's is not black, if your people, then this ain't for you. But all right, brother. Let me answer this call. I got another call coming in. I'm gonna call you right back, brother. You got the flow. Go ahead before we get out of here. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. My bad. I had to answer that call. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rush the brother off. Shout out to Bill Wall. Shout out to Bill Wall, man. I really fuck with that guy. Excuse my French, but we keep it raw and uncut around here. Shout out to Bill Wall. I want to give a shout out to the one person that donated today. Shout out to Darvis Baylock for the $10 cash out donation. He should shout out to Goose Creek in the building. We appreciate that. Drop your cities and your state and where you're from. While you're in the chat, I want to know where some of the family is in here. And also, man, don't let Darvis Baylock be the only one support the channel, man. Y'all support the channel. Also, man, this was a dope build. I want y'all to run it back to the beginning. Shay was breaking down the imperfections, the errors, in the lamentations and the true faultiness of the genealogy DNA test, and how it is all a hoax and speculation and wizardry. So yeah, man, we're gonna be doing more updates to this same thing, man, once we get more results in. So yeah, man, don't even trip, man. So drop them fire emojis in the chat, share the live stream, support the channel, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the live stream, man. Drop a fire emoji if y'all did enjoy it, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shay, I appreciate you for coming through. This was a good one, man. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed you too. I enjoyed the chat, the caller. Like you said, I'll be back with any updates or just dropping in, giving my 2 cents. I appreciate all y'all. I love all y'all, especially if anybody, I don't care what you call yourself. If you know you originally from here, that's all I need to know. And, like I said earlier, if you did a DNA test, make sure you double check, for whatever reasons. Just double check that scientific details on that 23andMe. I'm not confused about nothing. They trying to make people be confused. And I know I wasn't no African, no disrespect to Africans in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I just know I'm not them, and I get tired of the BS, the lies. I'm not going to attack nobody directly. I'm going to attack the information. So, pretty much that's all I got to say, y'all. I definitely will be back. I'm always in the chat. So, and I will be doing me a channel soon. So, just give me a minute. I'm Auntie Shay. I got kids, I got grandkids. And I'm real optimistic. I'm about building and growing for the future. All this stagnated, stuck, mad, angry. I'm not about that. If you from here, I don't care what you call yourself. We know who we are. We relate on so many levels. We ain't even got to say it. It's an unspoken language.
Right.
And I also wanted to add too, not only are we from here, we are related to people in South and Central America. That just makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I know we trip out and fall out, It don't make sense that I'm related to people in Africa and not related to people in South and Central America that's right down the street.
Right. Don't make no sense.
But that's all I had to say, fam. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. I really do, man. Enjoy the rest of your day and evening. You know what I'm saying? Be safe if you're moving around. Talk to you in the next one, sis. Shout out to sis. Hey, man, shout out to Kevin Glover for the $5 Cash App donation. We appreciate that. Shout out to Kevin Glover for the Cash App donation. We appreciate that. Make sure y'all show some love to Kevin in the chat. And make sure y'all support the channel, man. Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen, man. If you enjoy this live stream and you support the channel and you enjoy the commentary and the conversation, support the channel. Make sure you share this. And with that being said, we about to get the hell out of here, man. I'll see you on the next one, man. Make sure y'all be safe, be aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. And we out. Peace.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it.